All right, what's up? I am back with another really cool tutorial that I think is going to add a nice personal signature branded touch to your videos. So what I'm talking about is an animated call to action end card. I know that's a long name for it, but that's what it is. It's an animated call to action end card, and it looks like this. This is something that just gives a nice touch to the end of your video, something that's very memorable, but also prompts people to give you a follow after watching your video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a step-by-step tutorial on how you can recreate this animated call to action end card for yourself. And you can use this for all of your short form videos that you post on Instagram. And you can also take this concept and recreate it for your short form videos for other platforms like YouTube Shorts or even TikTok or anything else. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you do a screen recording of you hitting the follow button on your page. So this is going to require you to use a backup account or a secondary account. If you don't have one, you can just create one quickly and then search your name, your username on Instagram, find your username or find your page. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit follow on your page. So basically what you're doing is you're screen recording the action of hitting the follow button. So when you hit the screen record and it begins, let it run for about 5 seconds, then hit the follow button and then let it run for another 5 seconds or so. And then you're going to stop the screen recording like I'm doing right now. And now you have your screen recording of hitting the follow button. You'll see the follow button turning from follow to following. That's what we need. And now we're going to bring that over into CapCut. All right. So now we are in CapCut. We are going to go ahead and hit new project. Then we are going to select that screen recording that we just did. All right. So I'm going to select it here. I have a little bit of extra recording or excess recording. I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm just going to trim some of that off until we get to the Instagram page right here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the check mark to upload this. Now, what we want to do is we only want to keep about 2 seconds before the follow button is tapped and 2 seconds after the follow button is tapped. So we're going to move down the timeline until we see the follow button change to following, which is right here. This is at the 15-second mark. So we're going to go back to 13 seconds, tap the video, hit split, and we're going to get rid of that front part. And then we're going to go back to where the follow button changes. All right. And we're going to go 2 seconds forward. So we're going to go to 3, 4, right? Maybe a little bit further, hit split, and then delete that back part. And we're also going to get rid of this CapCut end card. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. We are going to go to the text icon. We're going to add text and we're going to add this finger emoji, this pointing finger emoji. We're going to tap off of the screen, hit the check mark. We're going to expand the finger a little bit and we're going to rotate it. You just take your 2 thumbs and then rotate it on the screen. And we're going to place the finger right on the follow button. All right. So here's what we want to do. I'm going to expand this by pushing my thumbs down and expanding my thumbs out. So that way we can go a little bit closer into the timeline. All right. So I'm going to drag this until right before or until right after the follow button changes, which is right here. All right. So technically this is where I tap the follow button. Now what we want to do is we want the emoji to become interactive and we want it to seem like the emoji is doing the action that we want the person watching the video to do after they finish watching it. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a keyframe right here. All right. So we're going to tap on the text. We're going to tap the keyframe icon. All right. And then what we're going to do is we are going to drag the timeline a little bit to the left. So this is right before we tap the follow button and it turned to following. And we're going to add another keyframe. All right. But now after we add that keyframe, we are going to actually pinch our fingers and shrink the size of the emoji. And I'll explain why we're doing this. All right. Essentially, we want it to look like the emoji is physically pressing the button. So it's going to shrink in size and then expand back. So this is why we did that. So right here, that was that first keyframe. Then the second keyframe, we dragged it a little to the left right before the follow button was tapped. And we shrunk the size of the emoji. Now we're going to drag it to the left a little bit more, and we're going to expand the size of the emoji again. All right. So it's going to go from big to small to big. All right. You saw that? Let's do it again. Big to small to big. So now it looks like it actually pushed the button. All right. So we're going to continue from that last keyframe that we just added. And again, we're working backwards here. All right. So we're going to go a little bit further to the left. We're going to add another keyframe. All right. And this keyframe is just to basically keep the emoji positioned here for a split second before it starts to get smaller as if it's pushing the button and then expand. All right. So now we've added that one. This is kind of like an anchor keyframe to keep it in the same position for that split second between this keyframe and this keyframe before it starts shrinking to push the button and then expanding after it pushed the button. All right. So now that we have this last keyframe that we added, we're going to add one more. We're going to go a little bit further to the left, and we are going to take this emoji all the way off the screen. We're going to drag it all the way off the screen. All right. Now let me hit the back button. All right. Another thing that you can do, you don't have to hit the keyframe before moving the emoji. You can just move the emoji and then it's going to automatically add the keyframe. All right. Because we already have our first keyframe on screen. Anytime we do another movement of the emoji, it's going to add another keyframe. All right. So this is what it's going to look like. All right. Keyframe, the first keyframe to the second, boom. It gets to the follow button. Second keyframe to the third, it stays there for a split second. Third keyframe to the fourth, it goes down to push the button. Fourth keyframe to the fifth, it comes back up, right? So this looks really interactive. Now we have to add another anchor keyframe right here. All right, so I'm gonna just press the, oh, whoops, I undid something. Let me go back. Okay, cool, I didn't wanna undo that. All right, so now we're going to add a sixth keyframe as an anchor, so that way from this position or from this keyframe to this keyframe, it's still in the same spot for a split second. And then we're going to move it over to the right, and we're going to drag this emoji completely off the screen. All right. So all together, this is what it should look like. Boom! Look at that! Look at that! Doesn't that look good? It looks like the finger came in and pushed the follow button, and then the finger disappeared. Let's play it again. Boom. Look at that. I love that. Okay, cool. So that is perfect, right? So let's just go over this one more time. Let's do a quick overview because I know this could probably be a lot if you're very new to keyframing. All right. So you want to add your emoji, which is the finger. Rotate the finger so that it's pointing upwards. All right. Your first keyframe, all right, should be with the emoji off of the screen. Your second keyframe is with the emoji on top of the follow button, right? Right before the follow button changes to following. The second keyframe it's still in the same position. The third keyframe, you shrink the emoji. Fourth keyframe, you expand the emoji. Fifth keyframe, all right, you keep it in the same spot. And then the last keyframe, you move it out of the frame, all right, off of the screen. So we play it, it looks like this. Boom. Perfect. So everything looks very interactive. The last thing we need to do is add some sound effects. So what we definitely want to do is we want to add a sound effect when the emoji shrinks and pushes the follow button. So we're going to go to this middle keyframe where we shrunk the size of the emoji. And in CapCut, we're going to go back to the menu. We're going to go to audio, sound effect, and then we're going to find a mouse click sound effect. And we already have one in the trending section. So that's it right there. We're just going to add that one by hitting the plus sign. All right. Now let's play it back. Boom. Look at that. All right. And now if you want to get crazy with it, you can also add a whoosh sound for when the emoji is coming into the screen. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to sound effects again. And let's see. That's a whoosh sound right there. So we're going to hit the plus sign. And we're going to have that right there in the beginning where the finger's coming in. Let's see how it sounds. Wow. Love that. And then we can also add another whoosh when it's leaving the screen. So what we can do is tap on that first whoosh sound effect that we added, duplicate it, and we can drag this back a little bit. And let's see how it sounds. Okay. So that whoosh, that second whoosh was a little delayed. So we're going to move that in a little bit. Let's see. Love that. Wait, one more time. Love that. And that's it. So what you're going to do is you're going to export this video. All right. You're going to save it to your device without the CapCut watermark. All right. And now you can add it to the end of your video and it should look something like this. Tap the heart if you like this video and make sure you hit that follow button on my page to get more tips like this. All right, so that wraps up this tutorial on how you can create your very own signature animated call to action end card for your short form videos. I want you to give this a try. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this tutorial. Do me a favor and tap the subscribe button and like this video if you want to see more tutorials like this. And if you want to get more tips, strategies, and ideas on how you can create great content for social media so you can grow your brand and grow your business and grow your community as well. My name is Monty. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you on the next one. Let's grow.